Hey coin collectors, and welcome to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. And today we're going to take a look at Lincoln money from the United States of America. Of course, we started in 1909 with the Lincoln penny, and then there were the Lincoln $5 bills, including the silver certificate. There's a Lincoln quarter, there's other Lincoln pennies, and there's a Lincoln dollar also. So let's start right now with the penny. We'll go in order of when they first came out. In 1909, they produced the first Lincoln pennies. I have two of them here, and those of you who collect Lincoln pennies probably know what I have here and why I have two of them. It's not because they're two different mints. It's because one of them is the famous Victor David Brenner VDB penny that first came out with the initials on the bottom. Hard to find this one. And this is kind of a beauty here with some really nice lines on the wheat. So this is the so-called wheat cent or VDB wheat cent. And this is the other one that came out in 1909. And this is just the regular United States penny. Now, in 1909, these came out. But then in 1923, the United States came out with a $5 bill. And it was a $5 silver certificate. It was not this one. This is a newer silver certificate. It looked quite different. It had a big hole in the middle. They called it the porthole because it looked like Lincoln was looking out the porthole of a boat. The 1923 silver certificate large bill, it was much larger than this bill too. They made 4 million of them. There's still about 1,500 around. They sell for somewhere between $400 and $3,000 plus dollars. In 1928, they came out with a small version of that bill. In 1934, they came out with another $5 bill. So when you get one of these from 1934, the first thing you'd want to do is turn it over and see if you have either the Hawaii or the North Africa stamp on the back of the bill. And of course, you can see that this is the Lincoln Memorial. In 1950, they came out with another $5 Lincoln. And then in 1953, they came out with this series here, the silver certificates from 1953. And you see why they call them silver certificates, and that is because $5 in silver payable to the bearer on demand. You could supposedly take one of these into a bank and get $5 in silver for it. The difference between the 1953 and the 1934s and the 28s is the color of this 5 over here. So in 1953, they went from having a blue 5 over here to just having a regular 5. Now in 1959, they came out with a new kind of penny. So what they did was they went from the wheat reverse to the Lincoln Memorial reverse. So that was a new penny, still a penny, but it was a new penny that came out in 1959. And that stayed with us until 2010. And in fact, the modern day pennies look like this, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So this is the next in line, the 1959 Lincoln Memorial reverse. And then after that, the next new Lincoln coin did not come until 2003. And that was the 2003 Lincoln quarter. It's really a Washington quarter, but on the back of the Washington quarter, state quarter from 2003, this is a Philadelphia one, they have Abe Lincoln on the back and it says Land of Lincoln. So we're going to consider this to be a Lincoln coin. After 2003, we went to the 2009 bicentennial of his birth in 1809, and so they came out with 4 different coins. And these are the coins here. If we look at them one at a time, this is his early life here, growing up in a cabin in Kentucky. This is him when he was reading and chopping logs. This is him in Illinois, at the Capitol in Illinois. And this is the Washington Capitol, which they actually built the Capitol while Lincoln was in office. Of course, on the modern ones, the VDB is way down here at the bottom of the coin right there on the modern ones. So that came out, these came out in 2009. In 2010, they did 2 different new things to the Lincoln coin. They put out a dollar coin, which is this one right here. And you see that this talks about Abraham Lincoln. He was the 16th president. The year he was, the years he was president. And then this had the so-called edge lettering, the date. And there it is, 2010 D here on here. And then also in 2010, they came out with the Shield Reverse cent. And so they went from the Wheat Ears Reverse to the Memorial Reverse. And then in 2010, we have the modern coin, which is the Shield Reverse. Lincoln isn't the only one who has more than one coin. Of course, Franklin had the $50, and now he's on a bill. Jefferson is on the $2 bill, right? And he's on the coin, and he's on the $1 coin. So it's not just Lincoln who's on more than one coin, but it's kind of cool to see all these different Lincolns through the years as you go along. Kind of think of how it's changed over time. And there's a 1919 there, and then what we have today. All right, that's all we have for the DC Coinwell International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to the channel. Leave any comments you have in the comments section.